Hi peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. Are you feeling comfy? Are you feeling well adjusted? Because I'm not, so it's time for another Therapy Thursday. If you're new to this series, then be ready to be called out, be ready to laugh, and be ready to feel better. Because that's what this does for me. That's why I do these videos. If you too happen to see life memes, therapy memes, something on the internet that makes you feel, oh, life, I get you, then send it my way so we can create more of these videos together. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's go. Boop. Therapist, we need to talk about your dad. Me, spill the tea, sis. Therapist, no, I need you to talk about your dad. Me, drag him, honey. Therapist, you have a serious problem regarding your own father. Me, he's cancelled. Am I right? Oh no. I feel bad for Gen Alpha. Is Gen Alpha right? This is the new generation. This is how I know that I'm really old. Am I millennial? Who am I? Who am I? What am I? What generation am I? I am a millennial, yes. Gen Z are the people that do hearts this way. Millennials do hearts this way. Goodness knows what Gen Alpha do. I feel like Gen Alpha should still be in nappies. Gen Alpha are being eaten by the internet. Gen Alpha, bless Gen Alpha. Bless Gen Alpha. But Gen Alpha totally talk like this to their therapist, right? right. Oh, how am I supposed to live, love, laugh in these conditions? How, Llama in a Tux? How? When you find out, you let me know, because it's hard. It is hard out here for a motivational poster. Karens in the wild that have this as tattoos on their back are furious. One can only manifest that they'll be able to live, laugh, love once again. Don't date people who make you feel like you have to hide your stuffed animals. I totally agree with this, you know. This is, without exaggeration, probably the best dating advice I've ever seen. Nemo Bear was here before you, and he'll be here long after you're gone, my dude. All of this, and I totally agree, like, long gone are the days, right, where we live, laugh, but also long gone are the days where we feel a need that we have to change who we are for people. Like, there is a difference between compromising and changing who you are. And in any relationship, romantic or otherwise, if someone is asking you to change who you are, then they do not deserve to be in your life. If you like freaking stuffed animals, you have your stuffed animals. I have stuffed animals. I have troll dolls right here. I have stuffed animals right there. I have a little knitted jellyfish right here. If you don't like stuffed animals, you don't like stuffed animals. That's okay too. You do you, boo. I'm all full of the cringy cliches today. Boop. I saw a TikTok where somebody was complaining that their date was 30 years old and had glow-in-the-dark stars on their ceiling, and I'd become enraged. You are never too old for glow-in-the-dark stars. If you hate whimsy with all of your heart, I don't think we can be friends. There is a scene, and it is the most beautiful scene, not the most, but one of the most beautiful scenes in television. Have you seen Superstore? If you haven't seen Superstore, I totally recommend you watch Superstore. It's amazing. It's one of those feel-good, wonderful, like wholesome shows, but that also touches on such deep topics. To me, it's like one of the perfect examples of education through entertainment. I love it. I'm here for it. It's learning through the storytelling of others, and there is a scene with glow-in-the-dark stars. I'm pretty sure it's in the first episode, so if I'm spoiling it, one, it's been so long, babe, and two, you want to see it. The rest of the show is so friggin' amazing. Like, this is the tiniest spoiler, but like, it's magical, it's amazing. And I agree, like, if somebody has glow-in-the-dark stars, so what? I don't know if this is just like a symptom of getting older, but recently, like really recently, like this past week, I've just been like, just be happy, dude. Like, just be happy. We don't need to focus on being so negative all the time. I feel like this world that we live in, the environment, the pressures of like society that we live in, is to constantly be stressed, to constantly talk about the news, to constantly be like, oh, the weather in the UK is a bit shit today, isn't it? And it's like, why do we need to? Why can't we just be having fun? Why can't we just be focusing on these things? Like, I get it, we still have bills to pay. Doesn't mean that we don't look after people. Doesn't mean that we don't contribute to charity, or, you know, like have some level of awareness of what's going on in the world. At the same time, let people have their glow in the dark stars. It's okay. There is literally nothing better than when you're full on laughing with someone and you both keep adding things that make it funnier and you can barely breathe. Yes to this. I condone this message. Yeah, it's funny. The last time this happened to me, it's because of a fart. That is how much of a child I am. It was me and Jamie. I can't even remember who farted, but it was just so funny. And we kept saying things and messing up with saying things until Jamie decided to say, you know, people have actually died of laughter before. And that stopped me from laughing too much. I was like, oh no. But it genuinely hurts. And it's wonderful. And it's amazing. And it's a great feeling. And if that is somewhat masochistic of me, then fine. Call it that if you wish. I like to laugh until my belly hurts. sucks and there's nothing you can do about it. I also just love the fact that these situations are just not funny. Like, objectively, if you then try to describe them to anyone else, the ones that put you in these kinds of laughing fits, nobody else will understand that laughter. They're always those, you have to be the moments. Sometimes you're just laughing because it's so stupid, because it's not even funny. That's what makes it funnier. You owe yourself a laughing fit. If you haven't had one in a while, I hope that magical moment happens for you soon. Manifesting a belly aching laugh for you. There you go, Peach. Putting that in the ether for you. A boop. Little treat culture is getting out of hand. You do not need an $8 coffee because you did laundry. Someone says, sounds like someone could use a little treat. I agree with both sides of this debate. I feel slightly called out. For me, it's not going out and spending money on coffee. It's being like, I wrote a sentence, so now I get to watch a movie. I know it's bad. I know, but I still do it. Oh, the call out. With my little Mama Shaaba hat on though, legit, I just want to add some little life hacks. Sometimes these treats don't need to be financial or centering around food. For me, they often go hand in hand, and it's something that stresses me out a little bit because I'm like, oh no, I feel like I need to celebrate certain things by going to a fancy restaurant or by going and having a takeaway or whatever, but sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, or sometimes I just don't want to spend the money. And there are other wonderful ways that you can treat yourself that aren't always financial, like require money, and that don't always require to be around food, because sometimes it can also just be really restricting. You can go for a walk, you can cuddle a cat, you can have some time like dancing on your bed, like jumping up and down, listening to one of your favorite albums. You can go to the beach, you can take a look at some old photos, you can ask your loved one and be like, hey, I do the laundry, will you give me a little massage? And you can make it like a fun little moment. Do you know what I mean? There are so many other things that we can be doing. I feel like as adults we sometimes get stuck in our ways and stuck by the norms of what we see, and often what we see is fancy restaurants and outings, which is fine. Like, if that's your jam, absolutely go for it. If that's what you want to do, absolutely go for it. But remember, there are many other alternatives that can also be really wonderful, and I'm so here for little treat culture, except when you're rewarding yourself with a movie for writing a sentence. That's not really okay. We're gonna work on that. Next, boop. I hope everything gets easier soon, or at least funnier. Oh man, I feel like somebody who uses self-deprecating humor to get through situations wrote this, and I see you. I don't necessarily agree with you entirely. I also find that there's a huge level of irony in the fact that me saying amen like this made me feel some kind of way that was slightly uncomfortable, and yet I'm gonna laugh about it, because even though it's not necessarily easier, what else are you gonna do? A boop. Being alive is all about collecting lots of little trinkets and putting them in a row. I love this. I love this so much. I'm trying to think of all of the ways in which we do this, and it's so true. Whether it be people in a photograph, whether it be food, or whether it be the little Funko Pops that I have in my living room. I love it. I love what this stands for. I love what this means. I love this. I love this. Boop. Sorry I'm late. I was zoomed in on Google Maps following a really long river from source to mouth. This is not one that I have done before, but hey, if this is you and you feel seen, good for you, babe. Good for you. I feel like this would really infuriate me. I'd want to know, like, that I'm definitely on the right path. I would just zoom out and be like, it's okay. It's okay. Wait, I have questions. Is this, for anybody who can relate to this, is this on like satellite view? Like, where you can actually see the river and you're like, do you look at the view? Or is it just a game where you follow the river itself? What happens if the river splits? The river split? Is that a question that I could be asking? Like, is that actually possible? Or is this just like a Google Maps view, like the little line, you know, like it's not satellite. You don't see it as actual images of the world. You just see it as a line. In which case, is it not like a game of Snake where the plot is already there? That would feel really frustrating to me. I'm so intrigued. The task I put off for a week took 3 minutes. I am now less stressed with it done and a little embarrassed. I plan on learning nothing from this exercise. How dare you? How dare you, social media post, call me out like this? I don't know what was the need. What did I ever do to you? Now you're making me think of my to-do list, which has 243 items on it. At least half of which will take me less than 10 minutes to complete, and at least half of which is giving me a lot of stress. But am I going to change my ways? Probably not. Why? Actually, because of ADHD. It's just a thing. It's a thing. It's a life thing. It's an ADHD thing. It's a thing. Yay for to-do lists though. At least I'll get done at some point. Boom, it has come to my attention that a funny story I tell at people at parties is actually a traumatic event. Oh no. This is way too relatable. I see you, I feel you. Sometimes it can be like really lovely to have those moments and be like, oh lol. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward. Have you ever been in a situation where like people are telling a story, or you're telling a story and you're like, ha ha ha, oh, and like you see it differently for the first time and you just want to give that person a hug, or if you are that person, you just want to get a hug. I've done this so many times with my very close loved ones. It's a bonding moment. That's the positive side. Oh my god, or the times where like you're just at a party and someone's telling a story and they're saying something that's actually super traumatic, right? And they're laughing about it and you're like, I just want to hug you. I feel so bad for you right now. I don't feel like I can be laughing. What do you do? What do you do? I feel like this often when I go to comedy shows. Sometimes I'm just like, this is hilarious and I can laugh. And there are sometimes I'm just like, hee hee hee. Like I'm laughing because I want you to feel like motivated and you're doing your thing and you're doing amazing. But also like I'm not wanting to laugh at the trauma that your deceased parent has put on you because of your identity. You know, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. You call it trauma. I call it spicy memory. I love this. I love this. I want to eat here. Are you a food shop? I hope you are a food shop. Wow. Spicy memory. Brilliant. Brilliant. Do you think they only serve spicy food? I have so many questions once again. Sometimes the fear won't go away, so you'll have to do it afraid. You know what? Just because you're doing something afraid doesn't mean that you're less of a person for doing it. If anything, I kind of feel like it makes you more badass. Because you did that, babe. You did that. That's a big deal. It's important to celebrate. How is it that the world makes you feel like a coward for having fear? When the reality is, if you're feeling fear and you're doing things anyway, that's like the total opposite of being a coward. You know? Blows my mind. Blows my mind. Do I like you? Not really. Do I need you to like me? Absolutely. Oh my god. Why? No. I don't want to be able to relate to this, but I sadly do. But I don't want to be able to relate to this. Half of me does. On my good days, I'm like, you can have opinions of me. It is not my business to know your business of what you think of me. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm doing it. I feel like the locker love thing from Bob's Burgers. Oh well. My point is I can relate to this and I don't want to. Okay? I said it. There. It might be a shocker, but I can't resist her locker. Moving on. It's always great when I'm telling my therapist something and she's like, oh, that's a trauma response. And I'm like, okay, can you just not for 1 minute? I feel you. I feel this so hard. It actually really annoys me. The amount of times that people say to me, oh, that's because you're an older sibling. Oh, that's because of ADHD. Oh, that's because you come from a broken family. What about myself is because I am Shaaba? What about myself is because I am my own person making my own moves? The amount that I feel like life is just created for me. I cuff my jeans because I'm bisexual. I stand a certain way in photos because I'm in an interracial relationship. Like, who am I? Like, does that mean that clones and AI will successfully be able to just be me? Because I'm not just me. I'm just an accumulation of labels. This is not the point of this video. I feel like I'm kind of stressing myself out with these memes more than I'm just taking joy in them. It's fine. We're laughing. We're sad, but we're laughing. It's all good. But I hard relate to this. Therapist, just stop. Just stop for a second. Maybe I'm just crying in the corridor because it's what I Shaaba like to do. Okay? Why can't it be that I get triggered by toilet paper being the wrong way just because I like toilet paper a certain way? Why does it need to be a trauma response? Why? I know why, but sometimes you just don't need to tell me why. Sorry, what is that? I'm paying you to tell me why? Well, stop. Just stop. Stop, therapist. Stop. If only I had the balls to actually say that to my therapist sometimes. If you are a people pleaser, let me think about that is one of your best allies, because your impulse is to go along with the other, often at your expense. Remind yourself that you don't need to give a response on the spot. Take your time to ensure your choices match your values. I love this. I love this so much. It's so simple, but it seems so effective. My problem is going to be remembering this. I need to like write that really big on my hand and then remember to look at my hand every time I have a conversation. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. Sorry, hairdresser, you're offering me this £40 piece of product that I know I'm only going to use once, partly because it's not really going to help me and I don't actually feel a need to have it, and also partly because it's so expensive. I'm going to feel guilty for using it, so it's just going to sit on a shelf, which ultimately makes it pointless for me to have bought in the first place. Let me think about that. Sorry, acquaintance and colleague that I don't particularly like, who's asking me to go out of my way and travel a long time to do this thing that I don't really want to do, that ultimately isn't going to benefit me in any way, but just mean that I can be an appropriate shadow for you. Let me think about that. Sorry, person in my life who's been a total and who's done nothing but like walk over me and use my generosity for their own benefit to then like throw it in my face and put a knife in my back, who's now trying to say sorry and wants me to like work in their best interests again. Let me think about that. I made these videos, maybe you feel better. Okay. But know the difference between those who stay to feed the soil and those who come to grab the fruit. Mind blown. Look, you want to make me happy? Drench a metaphor in poeticism. It's so beautiful. It's so giving. I feed off of this stuff. I love it. I love it so much. I wish these kind of quotes could just be like printed on walls just everywhere. I would totally be that person. And I love this so much. Mama Shaaba Hatton would just also say, sometimes you can do both. It's okay to grab fruit from people. Like, that's why we have social connections, right? We like support networks, affiliation motivations. It's like, it's a thing. I'd like to think that my loved ones, friends and family, can like feel like they can grab some of my fruit if they need to, even if it's at my expense, because sometimes that's what we do, right? We're there to help other people. And likewise, I feel like I've got a safe connection with some of my friends and family and loved ones that I can grab fruit from them when I need it. But I also go to feed the soil and they come to feed my soil, so it's okay. We can be like cute little farmers. You can do both and have a great time. Soil and fruit. Bisexual. Move on. When you learn that people pleasers start out as parent pleasers and tend to get overstimulated in groups because they're constantly monitoring how everyone feels except for themselves. How dare you? How dare you call me out like that? This is another example. Therapist, shut up for a minute. Just shush. Cycle breakers getting ready to spend time with a parent knowing full well that they're gonna spend the whole time getting triggered and not saying anything about it because I've realized it doesn't make a difference anyway. There is a time sometimes where this needs to be used. If you're watching this video, you probably know that one of the biggest series on this channel is the Am I the Drama series. And honestly, one of my biggest, not fears, maybe qualms, aspects of reality that I'm trying to embrace is that depending on the time of day and what's happened in my day, my responses to these situations could be very different. Sometimes I will look at somebody getting ready, gearing up to get their parent bonding time on. I do it myself and I'm like, it's okay. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, this is amazing and I want it to be a wonderful time, and I can't change the fact that my mum takes a bajillion hours to take a photo. This is a very trivial example, but you know, like, it's okay. I need to embrace that we are different people and this is what she is, and if she's gonna take a million hours to take a photo, I just need to accept it's gonna take a million hours to take a photo and it's what makes her happy. So I'm just gonna sit there and grin and bear it, and that's okay. And then sometimes I'm like, oh no, mum, you can't take this long to take a photo, and that's okay too. Duality is all I have to say in response to that. Both things can be true. Both things can be true at the same time. Both things can be true in different moments. Neither one is more right or wrong than the other, and any way that you are feeling, if it is a feeling, is valid. How you act on it can still have consequences, but how you feel about something is totally valid. So for anybody who needed to hear that today, I see you, I love you, you're gonna survive your next family gathering. It's okay. You got this. A whoosh. Oh my god, I love this scene. When you've learned to set emotional boundaries and to stop taking responsibilities for other people's emotions, I feel like this has some like meta moment going on that is not intended to be there, because what my head says is that this is a Stanley cameo, right? And so what this therapist meme is trying to say is that the reason that this is occurring is because the person who is now trying to set the boundaries created the issues in the first place, which I don't think is the case. But maybe this is also just child Shaaba typically overthinking, in which case, classic Shaaba. And yay to emotional boundaries and not taking responsibilities for other people's emotions. And I see how what I just did there was a total opposite of this, and this is why I need these videos. All right, should we do a couple more? Ooh, we got another video. Guided meditation. Calm your mind and let it be still. My mind. I love this. This is amazing. This is God tier. 4 for you, Glen Coco. 4 for you. Wow. Stop wondering if you're good enough for people and start wondering if they're good enough for you. Ah, lovely little person dancing. Looking hella cute, can I say? On a zebra crossing. Amazing. What is she fitting in that tiny bag? I don't know. Does she care that I'm judging her tiny bag? No, because she's so sure of herself. I love it. I love the vibe. I love the vibes. And I love these words. Let's try and not get in our minds, babies. We got this, Peaches. We're amazing. It's our world and everybody else is just living in it. That's okay. And the opposite to that, how the healing era is going. Where is this from? This looks terrifying. This is giving me the same energy as, you know, that dog that sits in the kitchen and is just like, I'm fine. And everything is just on fire. All right, let's do one more. Girls will see the moon every day and be like, moon? You know what? Yes, I am this girl. If you're gonna judge me for this, then that's on you. This is giving me the same energy as that plushie post. If you don't see the moon and are like, oh my God, that's amazing, that's wonderful, the fact that there is literally a floating gigantic rock in space that is so beautiful and magical to look at and that cannot be captured. Like, its essence cannot be captured in any kind of camera. You need to like physically behold its beauty, like its presence in the moment to truly get it. If you don't understand how that as nature's miracle is something to get excited about, then I don't understand you, okay? And I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be judged for liking to look at the moon. This to me sounds like a you problem, love a PDF, not a me problem. So have fun with that. Because whilst you're out here judging people for looking at the moon, I'm out here feeling really lovely and grateful to be on the earth because I have this moon. Do you see what I mean? We just spent less time judging people and more time just having fun and like embracing the good things, like the things that just genuinely make us feel good. The world would be a much nicer place. I feel like every day I sound more and more like a hippie, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. All right, my loves, if you enjoyed this episode of Therapy Thursday, maybe you want to consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing if you'd like to see more. It super duper helps me out. I will be so grateful. And regardless, I hope you took something away, even if it's just a smile from today's videos. If you come across any life, therapy, adulting memes that you would like to feature in the next Therapy Thursday, DM me, baby, over at shaabaandjamie007 on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Thank you again. I'll see you in another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.